Tunku Abdul Rahman, putra Al-Haj ibni almarhum Sultan Abdul Hamid Halim Shah, was born on 8 February 1903 in Alostar, Kedah. He was the child of Sultan Abdul Hamid Halim Shah and Cik Manjalara, the Sultan's fourth wife. During his time in politics, Tunku Abdul Rahman became president of the United Malays National Organisation, which is known as UMNO, and spearheaded the alliance between the UMNO and the Malayan Chinese Association, which is known as MCA, as well as Malayan Indian Congress, MIC. This alliance party won a sweeping majority in the election of 1955, and Tunku Abdul Rahman became the first Chief Minister of Malaya. In January 1956, Tunku Abdul Rahman led a mission to London to negotiate for Malayan independence, in the end securing immediate self-government for Malaya and the promise of independence by August 1957. Tunku Abdul Rahman became independent Malaysia first Prime Minister. He is widely regarded by his critics as Malaysia's founding father, the architect of Malayan independence and the formation of Malaysia. As such, he is often referred to as Bapa Kemerdekaan, which is known as Father of Independence, or Bapa Malaysia, Father of Malaysia. It was Tunku who envisioned the idea of Malaysia, Singapore, Sabah and Sarawak, which established in 1963. However, later in 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia to become an independent and sovereign state. In September 1970, with his power slipping and Singapore gone from federation for 5 years, Abdul Rahman relinquished his post as Prime Minister. He died in 1990 at the age of 87.
Tun Abdul Razak was the second time Prime Minister of Malaysia, ruling from 1970 until 1976. He was known as Bapa Pembangunan, Father of Development. He was born in Pekan Pahang on 11 March 1992. He was studied at the Malay College Kuala Kangsar. After World War II, Tun Razak left for Britain in 1947 to study law. In 1950, he received a law degree and qualified as barrister. After the general elections in 1959, he became the Minister of Rural Development. Tun Abdul Razak, responsible for launching the Malaysian New Economic Policy (MNEP). His achievements include formulating the development policy known as the Buku Merah and Buku Hijau. He also second generation if Malaysian politicians saw the need to tackle vigorously the economic and social disparities, which is fuel racial antagonism. The MNEP set two basic goals, including to reduce and eventually eradicate poverty and to reduce and eventually eradicate identification of economic function with race. Tun Abdul Razak died on 14 January 1976 while receiving medical treatment in London. He was laid to rest in Heroes Mausoleum near Masjid Negara, Kuala Lumpur.
Demi Allah, Demi Allah, saya tidak bermain politik.
Tun Datuk Hussein bin Dato' On was the third Prime Minister of Malaysia and serving in this role from 1976 to 1981. On 15 January 1976, he was appointed as Prime Minister. He was granted as Bapa Perpaduan, which is known as Father of Unity. Tun Hussein On, who came from a family with deep nationalistic spirit and political roots. He became the first youth chief of UMNO, United Malaysian National Organisation, a party his father had established. In 1950, he was elected as UMNO Secretary General. However, he left UMNO in 1951 and joined his father in forming the Independence of Malay Party, which is IMP. When IMP lost momentum, Tun Hussein On went to London to study the law at Lincoln Inn, qualifying as a barrister at law. Tun Hussein returned into politics in 1968 after persuaded by Deputy Prime Minister Tun Abdul Razak to join back UMNO. He stood and won the general election in 1969 and appointed as the Education Minister. Tun Hussein On was renowned for stressing the issue of unity through policies, purpose and rectifying economic imbalances between the various communities found in Malaysia. One of the biggest contribution by Tun Hussein On was Amanah Saham Berhad, ASB, by Pemodelan Nasional Berhad, which is PMB. Tun Hussein On died on 29 May 1990 in Saturn Medical Center at San Francisco, California, United States.
Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad was the fourth Prime Minister of Malaysia from year 1981 to 2003. He won 5 consecutive elections and served for 22 years, longer than any other Prime Minister in Malaysia's history. He improved the economy and was a champion of developing nations and became Bapa Pemodenan. Under him, Malaysia experienced rapid economic growth. He began privatizing government enterprises, including airlines, utilities and telecommunications, which raised money for the government. His most significant infrastructure projects were the North-South Expressway, PETRONAS Twin Tower (KLCC), Kuala Lumpur International Airport (KLIA), Sepang International Circuit and Proton. Mahathir Mohamad was born in 1925 in Alor, Kedah. He was a doctor before becoming a politician with the UMNO party and ascended quickly from Member of Parliament to Prime Minister. During his time, Mahathir defended Muslims tracing the roots of terrorism to injustice and inequality, dubbing both Palestinian and Israeli acts of aggression as acts of terror going advance for he called double standards of the West. Dr. Mahathir was accused of using the US-led war on terrorism as an excuse to neutralize Islamic politics opponents at home. He angered several foreign governments and Jewish groups by claiming a Jewish cabal ruled the world.
But today the Jews rule this world by proxy. They get others to fight and die for them.
During the closing of UMNO General Assembly 2002, Mahathir announced that he was retiring from all positions in UMNO, Barisan Nasional and the government. He subsequently named Datuk Seri Abdullah Ahmad Badawi as his successor.
Untuk mengumumkan umumkan. Satu, peletakan jawatan saya sebagai Presiden UMNO dan semua jawatan-jawatan yang dipegang oleh saya dalam parti. Meletakkan saya sebagai pengurusi Barisan Nasional dan semua jawatan dalam Barisan Nasional.
On October 31st, 2003, Datuk Seri Abdullah Ahmad Badawi was sworn as 5th Prime Minister of Malaysia. Since taking over the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Abdullah has been taking a firm down on corruption. Hence, Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission was set up in January 2009 and giving more authority to Anti-Corruption Agency. He has also arrested several public figures for corruption. Abdullah also advocated in interpretation of Islam known as Islam Hadari to maintain that Islam and economy as well as technology development are comparable. His administration also emphasized revival of Malaysian agriculture. In late 2005, Abdullah successfully led Malaysia to historic free trade agreement with Japan. In 2008 general election, PN suffered loss 2 out of 3 majority in parliament, first time ever in Malaysia history. Amid call from UMNO, member asked him to resign. Back in July 2008, Abdullah announced that he was stepped down as the UMNO President and Prime Minister in June 2010. However, 2 months later, he said that he may hand over his power to his deputy before 2010 deadline. On the same day, he handed over his finance portfolio to Najib. On April 2009, he met Yang di-Pertuan Agong Tuanku Mizan Zainal Abidin to submit his letter of resignation.
Saya dengan sukacitanya menyerahkan tanggungjawab kepimpinan UMNO kepada Presiden baru. Terima kasih kepada Najib bin Abdul dan berdoa semoga Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala semoga UMNO di bawah kepimimpinannya diberikan petunjuk dan mendapat hidayah daripada Ilahi.